We got our hands on a Merida E160 with the new Shimano Linkglide drivetrain. It's basically the e-bike specific drivetrain by Shimano. We will be back with a short review of the bike, but for now it's all about the Linkglide drivetrain. We decided to tear the bike apart, but then we had the chance to think, and then we decided to ride it first. That would be safest. So we took the XT-M8130 Linkglide system to the trails along with the XT-M8100. That's the old 12-speed drivetrain, to compare it and to see if we can feel any difference. We really like the Shimano 12-speed drivetrain because it allows us to shift under load to some degree, but you really have to have the gear system finely tuned. I often find myself adjusting the tension barrel just one click back and forth to find the optimal setting to have the smoothest shifting. And then next week I might have to adjust the tension barrel again just to have the optimal shifting performance. So will it be the same on the 11-speed drivetrain? Out on the trails, the 12-speed XT and the 11-speed Linkglide XT drivetrain, they were feeling really similar. You could pedal under quite a bit of load, but if you were pedaling under maximum load, highest resistance mode, standing up pedaling in a steep hill, then the chain would sort of hook up a bit and it wouldn't be totally silent. But on the 11-speed drivetrain, we weren't really that anxious to perform the shifting. It felt like it could handle it. And we were constantly shifting up and down, standing up, putting a lot of load on it. But this is just a short test, so we really don't know how the drivetrain would hold up to this kind of abuse over months. The shifter felt pretty much the same. We found that the 11-speed Linkglide drivetrain was sort of having the same issues that the 12-speed version. Just one click off on the tension barrel and performance would be reduced. So the conclusion so far has to be, we like the 11-speed drivetrain. Perhaps it's not a huge leap in performance over the 12-speed version. They both shift really well, and that's okay. But because I don't think improved shifting under load was the main goal with this drivetrain. The goal is to create a more robust and durable drivetrain. And we just rode the bike for 3 rides, short rides, so we of course didn't have the chance to test this. But now it was time to take the bike apart, at least the chain and the cassette. So we threw the cassette on the scales and it was 780-ish grams. And that's what's been stated by Shimano. So it's a really heavy cassette, and it's an 1150 teeth cassette. So comparing it to the 12-speed cassette, it's 1 teeth less at the bottom and 1 teeth less at the top. So basically, still a really big cassette. Then we had a look at the chain, and I think this was the most interesting thing to check, because I'm expecting the 11-speed chain to be much more durable than the 12-speed chains. I mean, we've tested all the Shimano 12-speed chains before. Check out our video about it. Yeah, the chains were like between 400-ish kilometers and 800-ish kilometers, and I'm expecting more from the 11-speed. But we didn't have the chance to drive that far. Anyway, then we threw the chain on the scales, and I was quite surprised because it was 264 grams. That's just 6 grams more than the Shimano XT, SLX and Enduro chains. And they have all been cut to fit a Merida E160. So perhaps this Linkglide drivetrain is 1 link shorter due to the smaller cassette, very slightly smaller cassette. But it's pretty much the same, and the weight difference was surprisingly low because I was expecting this to be a heavy chain, just like the cassette. More weight, more durable. But it might not matter. It could still be quite durable. We didn't have the chance to test that, of course. What was different about this chain was when we tried flexing it. There was a lot of flex, and this is a test we've been doing with all the 12-speed chains too. And in general, we don't want too much flex. At least that's how it used to be. Because little chain flex could be an indication of good production precision and that the chain is very little stretched straight from the factory. So yeah, basically it could indicate the better performance or better longevity. But on the Linkglide system, it makes sense allowing for more flex, because shifting under load is a thing with this drivetrain. And having a chain with a bit of flex, in theory, it should reduce the risk of breaking the chain when shifting hard under load. So that's our first look at the M8130 Linkglide drivetrain. There's also the M5130, the Deore version of the Linkglide, with an 1143 teeth cassette. So that cassette would be quite a bit more lightweight, and I'm thinking the spread between the gears between 11 and 43 teeth on a 10-speed drivetrain is sufficient for pretty much most people, unless you enjoy riding without motor power at all. Then I guess the 50-tooth cog would be nice to have. Anyway, we quite like the Shimano XT Linkglide drivetrain, and we think it's a really good thing that Shimano has taken this path. Yeah, well, it remains to be seen, but at least they claim to have made a more durable drivetrain specific for e-bikes, and yeah, that's necessary.